Yo, what's up, party people? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy D, and this is D's Daily DD. I'm always going to start off by saying I'm never a financial advisor. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an expert. Take this for educational and entertainment purposes only. When you're investing in the market, you have to do your research, your DD, and you have to remember that you can't invest a dollar, not a single dollar that you're not willing to lose, right? Because at the end of the day, it's still risk. You're still, you're risking your income, your money, whatever it is, whatever you're gonna invest, you're still taking a risk on that money. Okay, so understand that. But today, this video is going to focus on Lucid. I'm gonna talk about what's going on with the short interest, what's going on with the news. Some pretty big news just came out, so I'm gonna update you on all of that, of course, and what I see happening right here, and what I can see potentially happening with the stock price and so on. So I'm gonna give you, technical analysis. I'm gonna give you that short interest data. I'm gonna give you, important information on what can happen here in the next few weeks or days, because it does seem pretty important. Okay. I know a lot of people work, in the daytime 9 to 5s or whatever, so they don't have time to read up and stay up on this. So that's why I'm here to bring you the information. So, all I ask is if you could share this video, leave a like, leave a comment, give me your opinions, give me your thoughts on this, on what you think can happen with Lucid, because in the past, Lucid has been pretty volatile and has been involved in a couple short squeezes already. Okay. But right now, we are coming up to some pretty important news, and as of right now, right, it's just a rumor. It's not confirmed, but alone on this rumor, we got to see the price shoot up almost 100% today alone. It did close 43% green for the day today. So the ticker symbol is LCID, and it started off around $9.20 this morning. Even cheaper actually, at $9, and it peaked at around $17.80, $18, and then it closed at $12.70. All right, just looking at my phone info here, but that's what this video is going to be about, guys. So please just be careful right now. Markets are very volatile, and you have to play safe. But again, do what you want to do your own research. But here I am, I'm gonna jump into the information that we want to talk about. Okay, guys, let's do it. All right, let's jump into it, guys. Let's talk about it. Here we go. This is going to be a quick summary of kind of like what happened today, and I'm going to just give you some facts right here. Okay, some info. So Lucid stock rockets on heavy volume. It was halted 9 times for volatility. That's how crazy it was shooting up. Okay, so shares of Lucid up 43% today, rocketed 62.7% in very active afternoon trading, pairing an earlier intraday gain of as much as 97% prior to its latest trading halt for volatility. The electric vehicle and battery pack maker stock was trading down on the day just until about 11 a.m. Eastern. The gain started accelerating a little after noon. The price really took off just before 1 p.m. Trading volume ballooned to 99.5 million shares, already more than triple the full day average. The stock has been halted 9 times for volatility since 12:56 p.m. The company said before the stock market opened that it opened its first retail studio and service center in Montreal, Canada. Okay, so alone, that's good news, right? That's a whole nother country that they opened up a new showroom. There were also multiple media reports that cited a Betaville report that the Saudi Arabia-based investment fund was looking to take Lucid private. A Lucid spokesman said the company doesn't comment on rumors or speculation. A company filing with the Securities and Exchange Commission from December 28 showed that the Public Investment Fund, which they go by PIF, short PIF, right? That's what it's short for. So Saudi Arabia owned 1.1 billion Lucid shares, which equals about 60.7% of the shares outstanding, which the PIF said was made for investment purpose. The stock has more than doubled in January, up 114%, but still down 49% over the past 12 months, while the S&P 500 has lost 5.8% the past year. So that's the quick summary of it. And remember, Saudi owns around 60% of the shares of the total shares, right? So keep that in mind. I'm going to tie this up at the very end with what this reminds me of. So let's take a look at this. It is interesting how Yahoo put out this article as well, saying that a analyst sees 101% upside to Lucid, right? Can the stock really move this high? So they dropped this pretty early on in the morning, and it's amazing how they kind of nailed it right with the high. It's saying 18. The price targets, that means the estimate of $18.14 indicates a potential upside of 101%. And what do you think? The price topped out right around that price today. Okay, so do what you want with that info. Next, I have this image. According to Webull, institutions own 77% of the shares and retail owns around 18%, and the insiders and the corporation owns around 4 or 5% of the shares. Okay, so keep all this in mind. This is the data that I want to point out, and then we'll tie it up at the end. Next, we're going to look at the short interest and what is going on. So remember, anything above 10% is going to be considered high short interest. So the current short interest of the float is around 25.86% according to Fintel. It didn't want to show me the amount of shares here, but I'll point that out right now. With the lower volume that it has been seen, it would take the shorts around 6.47 days to cover theoretically. And I want to point this out too. They had to use the shorts, right? They had to use all the shares that they could find today to short it in order to calm it down, because it was just skyrocketing. Lots of volatility. So they were down to 20 shares, according to this 39 minutes ago. And the cost to borrow fee has been rising, right? The max was 58%, minimum 49%, 50% cost to borrow. All right, let's go back. Let's go over here. On Twitter, I was looking for things on Lucid, right, information, and I found this. So Lucid surges on speculative, right, because there are rumors, speculative reports, and rumors that Saudi Arabia's PIF, which is already Lucid's largest shareholder with a stake of over 60%, may buy out the remaining shares that it does not already own. Review major Lucid news here. So it was already 2 hours ago, this was posted, nearly up 100%. Trading has been halted multiple times. Short selling covering might be amplifying the rally, as Ortex estimates the short interest has declined nearly 500,000 shares today. The current SI is around 25% of the free float. And then this is old too. Right here is where I was looking at. So rallies 11% off the lows and a broader surge in heavily shorted stocks. Short interest is at 167 million shares, about 26%. So even though they covered around 500,000, that's nothing, right? It's chump change. That's like nothing compared to what they owe, 167 million shares, or around 165, just to be safe, right? So you can see what kind of volatility that causes and how the shorts were panicking, taking the price from around $9 to $18. So I would love to see what would happen if all 167 million shares were covered. Okay, that's what I would want to see. And I am a Lucid shareholder. I've been, riding with Lucid. I was thinking about it for 5-10 years or whatever, like a long-term thing. But I did accumulate. I bought a lot more today based on all this that I came across. Okay, but you do what you want with your money. I'm not telling you to buy, hold, or sell. I'm just explaining to you what I'm looking at and what I'm doing. Next, the options chain. I still believe we're going to see a pretty heavy surge this coming week, because this is what's crazy, right? These were the calls for today. And remember, it started around $9 and it surged all the way to 18. So at one moment in time today during the session, all the call options were in the money, but it did not close above, let's see, above 13, right? It didn't close above 13. So all these calls went in the money from here, from $9 all the way to $12.50. So you had all these that landed in the money, which is a big part. So to me, that's going to cause a gamma squeeze, right? Because if these people start exercising the calls come Monday, Tuesday, the market makers are going to have to deliver on those shares, right? Whoever wrote those contracts. So I just want to point out, as of the 15th, 2023, there's 164 million shares that are short, $1.34 billion worth, an estimate. Okay. Next, max pain was at 950 for Lucid and closed at around 1280. So understand that, that's what's caused it caused the market makers to lose money there, because they wanted the sweet spot. The sweet spot would have been for them to get it around $9.50, but with this crazy surge, they ended up taking an L, in my opinion, right there. Okay. Next, we got the chart. Like I said, I've been in Lucid. I've been charting it for a while. I've seen some of the supply and demand zones, and I noticed right here was the what is this, the 200 EMA. So you can always, whenever you get a surge like that, you can always expect resistance at the EMAs, and it has to test them and whatnot. And I've had this hard resistance slash support. You know, right now it's acting as resistance, but around $17 there is a very hard resistance that would have to get broken through. But it does have a supply and demand zone right here where you can see that it trades. So in my past videos, guys, like I was saying, you know, this is where I would want to see it come back up. And right now you want to see some consolidation, right? Some trading, some sideways trading like this. So the RSI can cool down a bit and regain its structure, its strength. So we can see potentially more upside in my opinion. So there's that. And then the cost to borrow fee, I always like to use different, you know, sources, but Lucid cost to borrow 50% with only 20 shares to borrow. As you can see, very volatile. So this is the price action where it's gone up and it's been going down ever since. But recently, right, the cost to borrow fee has been spiking, and right now it's sitting at around what, 50% according to this. And now the thing is, the S&P 500 rallied a bit today. We were talking about that in the last video as well. As we were right here and I saw the green buy signal and I saw that it had broken through this macro resistance, right? So that is why you saw that little run today, and you saw some volatility spiking it. And it's had about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green days in a row. So there's a little bit of bull momentum there. Now, I'm going to talk about what can happen, what this reminded me of with Lucid and the rumors and, you know, what's going on right now. It has to do with another short squeeze that happened in the past, and it was the Volkswagen short squeeze. I'm going to read this to you, but first off, you know, I want to say, like, if they are going to go private, there will be a press release, there will be dates, there will be information like that. And according to my knowledge from what I know is that, you know, supposedly the shorts would have to cover before they get out, before they go private, right? Now we have seen some sketchy situations like what happened with MMTLP, MMAT. From what I recall, right, when I made that video about how there was something happened where they cut the trading short and that company, the shares went private, and it was just a mess. I mean, a lot of retail was involved in that. You know, I wasn't personally involved in it, but I did cover the news and what was kind of going on. And there was a lot of good reaction from the retail investors on that video and that information. But here, okay, let's wrap this up. I'm almost done with what I want to talk about, but this is what I'm looking at. So rumors started circulating. This has to do with Volkswagen and Porsche, right? So just take into consideration, kind of like, that's what I'm thinking of right now. It's sort of remind me of when PIF says they could potentially take Lucid private. So rumors started circulating in the market in March 2008 about Porsche considering an increase its stake in Volkswagen from the existing 31% to 75%. While Porsche initially denied the rumors, the company disclosed on October 26, 2008 that indeed had increased its holdings to Volkswagen to 74%. 42% of Volkswagen's ordinary shares and 31.5 cash settled options on Volkswagen's ordinary shares, with the additional 20% of its shares held by German states of Lower Saxony. Around 94% of the company shares were effectively out of circulation. This meant that just 6% of the company shares were available in the market as the free float. When Porsche announced that it had no intention of fully acquiring Volkswagen, it also signed that the market and more short positions on Volkswagen stock than had it expected. It also signaled that the market had more short positions on Volkswagen stock than it had expected. All right, so I had to reread that. The news sent shockwaves among the short sellers as they rushed to close their positions, which kind of, you know, what happened today with the rumor, okay, of them buying out, all the rest of the shares. But see, that's what I'm like trying to figure out as well. Like, okay, so if Saudi comes in and wants to buy the rest of the shares, what about, you know, the retail investors? What about these institutions that are holding, right, the rest of the shares currently? As per estimates, around 12% of the company's outstanding shares were sold short for Volkswagen. Currently, I just showed you over here, for Lucid, the current short interest is around 25%, okay? So it's higher, right? More of a chance of a short squeeze in my opinion. The last thing is, and liquidating them was impossible with only 6% of the shares available for trading on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. Panic gripped the market as short sellers were left clueless due to the supply and demand imbalance. Okay, here's a graph. Kind of talks about how when the rumors started announcing this is the short squeeze for Volkswagen, but in March 2007, Porsche increased its stake to 30%. Then over here, rumors swirl and Porsche's increasing its VW stake to 75%, which that's where we're kind of at right now. It's just a rumor, but right, we need a confirmation from the PIF saying they want to acquire the rest of the shares to take it private. And then Porsche confirms on October 26th. So from March, lasted a while, right? It took a long time, but from March to October 26, 2008, that it owns 74% of the stake in VW, initiating the short squeeze. Boom. So all the way up to around $1,000, $1,200 around there. So what it squeezed to. And after the stock price peaked, Porsche released around 5% of the shares of its Volkswagen holdings at stratospheric prices and allowed short sellers to close their positions. After the 20th of October, the stock plummeted more than 58% in the next 4 trading days. A month later, the stock was down 70% from its height. Nevertheless, short sellers suffered heavy losses as they were caught between the rising prices and the limited supply of shares in the market. According to some estimates, hedge funds lost around $30 billion on their Volkswagen short positions. Insane, right? So just wanted to give you that. That's all I really got for the video, guys, and all the information that I could find today. If you're interested in looking at Lucid. So that's all I got, guys. Happy Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Volatility's back in the market, so you have to play careful. You have to be careful with this. If you're making moves, right, you have to have a plan. You have to have an execution plan when you want to get in, when you want to get out, what you understand, what you don't understand. All right, guys, so that's all I got. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you for coming by. Hope you have a great weekend. See you next time.